In 2008, Flipkart was just an 8-member team without any office, and they were running their operations from Sachin and Benny Bansal's apartment in Bangalore. And that's when Accel, which was one of the world's largest VC firms, decided to invest $1 million in the company. And this was not a typical funding in a promising startup. It was one of the boldest bets ever taken in India's startup history. The implications and the impact of this investment were far-reaching. In a way, this investment signaled to the world that India's market is ready to build massive internet-first companies, and hence it kick-started the modern VC industry in India. Similarly, in 2011, when Anupam Mittal was talking to 25-year-old Bhavesh on the phone, he didn't know that he was about to make one of the most legendary angel investments in India's startup history. Basically, all the successful startups that we see today have become successful because of many things going right. And one of the most important things is getting the right investor at the right time. And so, in this video, we'll talk about the top 5 best investments in India's startup history. And our criteria for this list is not just based on the rate of returns, but also the impact and long-lasting implications that this funding has had on the company and the sector as a whole. And that's why coming up with just 5 names was extremely hard. So please watch this video till the end and let us know if you want to add something to the list. And before we start, I just want to say that this channel is part of Zerodha's 01 network. Now, at number 5, we have Kunal, Bahl and Rohit Bansal, the founder of Titan Capital and their investment in Urban Company. So try to picture this. The year is 2015. Jio hasn't come yet and India is still paying 250 rupees per GB of data. And that's when 3 guys in their mid-20s decided to organize India's massive informal home service sector and make it accessible through internet. So everything from electricians, carpenters and home cleaning services, this small company wanted to train these people and help them make more money. And this was a very difficult problem to solve. Also, these founders did not have a proven track record of running any successful startup. And finally, a business model like this was not proven anywhere in the world before this. But when these founders approached Kunal Bahl for seed funding, he along with Rohit Bansal agreed to put in around 57 lakh rupees. And mind you, this was before any other investor agreed to fund the company. Basically, Kunal's thesis was that Urban Company is solving a major pain point for the customers and that Indian customers are ready to pay for a service like this. And Kunal's seed funding was very important for Urban Company, as his involvement signaled to other investors that it's a great opportunity. And pretty soon, big institutional investors like Accel and Saif Partners invested in the company as well. And once the company raised this seed round, there was no looking back. Within months, they raised their Series A of $10 million, and since then the company has raised around $376 million, and it is today valued at over $2 billion. And the money that Kunal and Rohit invested back in 2015, well, they've got a complete exit from the company in 2024, and they walked out with a cool 111 crore rupees. So that's almost 200 times returns on their small investment of 57 lakh rupees. Also, this one is special because as we speak, Urban Company is getting ready for its IPO. So it's wonderful to witness its journey from the seed funding in 2015 to its IPO in 2025. Next, at number 4, we have Anupam Mittal's investment in Ola. So the year was 2011, and Anupam Mittal has just started investing in startups. And this is when someone told him about Ola. And initially, Anupam said no to investing in the company. See, Anupam had lived in cities like New York and Mumbai most of his life, where getting a cab was not a big challenge. And so the idea of a cab hailing service did not appeal to him. But once Anupam went to Delhi for some work, and he faced a tough time getting a cab. And this is when he thought of Ola. Almost immediately, Anupam contacted Bhavesh and got ready to invest in his company. And again, Anupam was the first investor in the company. He invested around 30 lakhs in the seed round of Ola. And at the time, the valuation was around 5 to 6 crore rupees, which means Anupam got around 5% of the company. And within months of this funding, Tiger Global led a Series A round of $3.87 million into the company. And this was the start of ride hailing in India. Now coming to Anupam, he partially exited the company within just a few years. And according to him, he made several 100 crore rupees from it. Now we don't know exactly, but several 100 crores could mean anything from 200-300 crore rupees to even 600 to 700 crore rupees. Also, Anupam has not exited the company completely. So even if he has, let's say, 0.5 to 1% stake in the company, it is also worth hundreds of crores of rupees, since Ola Cabs is valued at several billions of dollars. So in total, Anupam's entire gain, realized plus not realized, is easily in the range of 500 to 1000 crore rupees. So that's a return of over 1500x in a span of 13 to 14 years. So both in terms of returns and the impact that Ola has had, this investment of Anupam is right there at the top. At number 3, we have Hero's investment in Ather Energy. And this one is a little different. More than just a financial investment, this one is a strategic investment where Hero was not just in it for money, but also to help create an EV ecosystem in India. So let's start from the beginning. Ather Energy was started in the labs of IIT Madras in 2013. And in the beginning, they were just working on building a superior battery, which they thought they could sell to scooter manufacturers. But pretty soon the founders realized that the existing electric scooters had a lot of limitations. And so they decided to make the complete vehicle themselves. In February 2016, they unveiled their first product S340 and announced that they would start production by the end of the year and then start shipping it to customers in 2017. Now obviously this product unveiling got a lot of media attention and it even reached to the management at Hero MotoCorp. The CEO of Hero at the time was Pawan Munjal and he immediately decided to partner up with Ather. Within just a few months, it was announced that Hero would invest 180 crore rupees in Ather against a 26% stake. According to Pawan Munjal's statement at the time, we firmly believe that Ather is on the way to become one of the leaders in the two-wheeler EV space in India and potentially even globally. Basically, Pawan had understood that Ather has built a solid battery pack and with the help of Hero, the company can build great scooters. And so this partnership, which initially started with an 180 crore rupees infusion, became more than just the money. Hero helped Ather in everything from manufacturing at scale, marketing and sales operations. In a way, it helped Ather move from R&D phase to mass manufacturing. In terms of money, Hero has till date invested more than 1700 crore rupees in Ather and it has around 40% stake in the company. Even during the IPO, Hero did not sell any stake in the company, which shows how much they believe in it. Today, Ather is valued at around $2 billion, which means 40% of Hero is valued at around 7,000 crore rupees. Now, of course, in terms of investment returns, it's just around 4 to 5x. But this partnership is historic in the sense that it's probably for the first time that a traditional automaker in India partnered up with a young startup in order to build the future together. Usually, if an older player wants to get into newer technologies, they would either buy a company completely or try to build the technology themselves. But Hero took a different approach. And these kind of partnerships are very common in mature markets like the US. For example, the partnership between Ford and Rivian, where Ford invested $500 million in Rivian to build electric vehicles together. Another example is General Motors investment in Nikola, where GM invested $2 billion to use the battery technology of Rivian. And I hope we see more of such collaborations in the Indian market going forward. Okay, moving on to number 2, we have Accel's investment in Flipkart. And this is very special. Some people say that it was a turning point in India's startup history. It was for the first time that a leading global VC firm like Accel had put in a big check in an Indian company. And let's go back to understand its significance. The year was 2008 and Flipkart was just an 8-member team. It did not even have an office and Sachin and Bansal used to run the company from their apartment in Bangalore. At that time, India's e-commerce market was completely untested. There were almost no digital payments and you didn't know if people were ready to embrace e-commerce in India. The largest global player at the time, Amazon, was present in 7 to 8 countries and India was not on that list. And that's when Accel took a big bet on the Indian market and wrote a $1 million check as seed funding to Flipkart. This bet by Accel attracted other global VC firms as well. And within just 1 year, Tiger Global invested $10 million in Flipkart's Series A round. This was the start of modern VC investing in the Indian market, and Accel was among the first institutional investors to see the potential of the Indian consumer internet space. Over the next few years, Accel invested a total of $60 to $80 million in Flipkart. And when Walmart acquired Flipkart in 2018, Accel made around $2 billion from their investment, a cool 30x return. And more than the return, it was the significance of this investment, which is why it is at number 2 in this list. And finally, at number 1, we have InfoEdge's investment into Zomato. So in 2010, Sanjeev Bikhchandani, who is the CEO of InfoEdge, came across a small restaurant discovery platform called Foodiebay. Yes, there was no Zomato at the time, it was called Foodiebay. But what Sanjeev liked about this platform was that customers loved it, and it solved a very major point of people to find different kinds of restaurant around them. And so Sanjeev set up a meeting with Dipinder, and his first advice was to change the company's name, as the name Foodiebay limited them to just selling food and also because it sounded like eBay. Now, at the time, the general perception among VCs was that food delivery would be a very small market in India, but Sanjeev thought differently. See, Sanjeev had a very deep understanding of the Indian consumer market. He had earlier built platforms like Naukri, Jeevan Sathi and 99 Acres, so he knew exactly how Indian consumers are changing, and he understood that the spending power of Indians is growing and it's the right time to build a food delivery company. So in August 2010, Info Edge invested $1 million or 4.7 crore rupees at the time in Zomato. And against this, they got an 18.5% stake in the company. And Sanjeev was so bullish on Zomato that he invested in every funding round in the first few years. After the seed funding of $1 million in 2010, Sanjeev invested $3.5 million in Series A in 2011, $2.3 million in Series B in 2012, and $10 million in Series C in 2013. And by 2013, Info Edge had invested a total of 86 crore rupees in Zomato, and its stake had grown to over 57%, making it the majority shareholder in the company. Eventually, big VC firms like Sequoia and Tiger Global came along, and slowly Info Edge's stake got diluted. And by the time of Zomato's IPO in 2021, Info Edge's stake had diluted to around 18%. During the IPO, Info Edge sold around 2.3% stake in the company for around 3,000 crore rupees, and it continues to have around 15% stake in the company. Today, Zomato's valuation is around $33 billion, and hence Info Edge's 15% stake is worth around 37,000 crore rupees. And if you add the 3,000 crore rupees that they sold during IPO, it comes to 40,000 crore rupees. So on a total investment of around 147 crore rupees, Info Edge has made 40,000 crore rupees, which is almost 272 times the return on its investment. And more than just the returns, this investment is significant because it's a big lesson on why it's important to get funding from the right investor. See, Dipender was building a consumer tech company, and Sanjeev himself had already built many such companies. So thanks to his experience, Dipender did all the right things. Whether it's the decision to do IPO at the right time or acquiring a loss-making company like Grofers, Dipender always had Sanjeev for advice, and in my opinion, it's one of the biggest reasons for its success today. Anyways, that's all I have for you in this video. Let me know your thoughts on this list. And is there an investment that you think we missed out on? Let us know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.